out with twin clocks. I'm really about that action, man, straight from the block. I shock the world, spit that shit they ain't used to. Pac said fuck the world, so this here is for the thug in you. A nigga with an attitude, I'm from a different era. The black rose that grew in the face of urban terror. I put my life on a line, on a rhyme, never for the fame. Just enough to touch your mind and give you a little game. About the dirty cops, gangs, and the cocaine. Birth the generation of the clinically insane. Attempted genocide, corrupt the mainframe. And you wonder why we rap niggas out here pushing pain. I spit flame, hip-hop stains the page. Created in my back cave, my underground hideaway. Feel the magic, this is a movement.
Where are we gonna go? Why is the world so cold? Will the Lord take my soul? Who's really in control? Will the truth ever be told? Nobody really knows.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to the PDXDOPE Live Podcast. Yep, pop-up Monday show. I'm here in the building with my man, Jermaine Mason. What's happening with your brother?
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, ain't nothing to it but to do it on this Monday, man. Get started with a controversial situation that happened here this past weekend. Yesterday was the NCAA Women's National Basketball Championship. And LSU defeated the Iowa Hawkeyes. They beat them 102-85. And, of course, you had the star Catlin Clark for Iowa, probably one of the best players in the nation. And then you also had Angel Reese for LSU, who had a hell of a ball game herself. Congratulations to the Lady Tigers. But we're not here to talk about the game itself. We're here to talk about the drama that happened after the game. As many of you might know, and you just seen on the video we just played, that Angel Reese kind of taunted Catlin Clark. So anyway, everybody is up in arms about this whole thing because, of course, Catlin Clark, the white girl, did the same thing in the previous game in the Final Four. So anyway, we're going to talk about that situation and share our opinions on that. And hit us up in the comments if you want to join the conversation. But anyway, Jermaine, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Just get this thing started.
I mean, first off, I'll say that it was a great game. Both of those women are going to be superstars. They're superstars in their own right now. So it's going to be great to see them in the future battling each other. I will say that this has just been blown, well out of hand to begin with. I believe that, Catlin, she does have a tendency to taunt players. She trash talks, but she backs it up.
Right.
I commend her on that. Angel Reese, she talks shit. She's been doing it all year too.
Right.
With the little face gesture and the ring, pointing at the ring and everything else.
Yeah.
I feel like it is what it is, really. I think that Angel didn't have to do it in her face like that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think she kind of wanted to rub it in her face a little bit.
Yeah.
letting them know, like, I know you getting all this pub right now, but I'm the king.
And I beat you
So,
today.
right, and I beat you today. So,
So
it
she
was
was on her Queen Petty shit.
right. So I think I think it was more or less of on that. But
Yeah, that's what I think too. That's what I think too. Because I think what I do. What the thing is it turned into a racial thing. Of course, everything does when it comes, and you have the two people involved being one white, one black. But to me, it's like this. I could see where people might feel like, white people, the white girl do it, they ain't saying nothing, or they're not talking about it the way they're talking about when the black girl does it. There's a lot of truth to that. And my thing with it, I didn't really know anything about Caitlin doing it or whatever until after the fact, right? But the thing is, if anybody knows me, I'm an athlete. I play sports, so it wasn't really something I was like, that's kind of weak. It was the end of the game, and she kind of tracked her down and got in her face about it. That's the part I didn't really care for. But I feel like it got blown a little bit out of proportion, though. Because I had mentioned something when I was watching the game, and I was like, what are you doing? That's what my first
right,
thought. We got the game. That was my honest reaction to me seeing it. I'm like, what are you doing? But I wasn't like super mad. I was just like, that ain't called for. You know what I mean? That was just in my mind. Had nothing to do with anything at that point other than sportsmanship, and that's how when I first saw it. And then I started seeing all the reactions, and then people start talking about Caitlin doing it and this and that. And I watched the tapes. Okay, she did it. But she didn't track nobody down and get in their face or whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, she did do the same thing, and they really didn't talk about it the same. So, I hear it, but I just think that it was made more of a bigger deal, and when they should have been celebrating the championship and the good ball game that they played, because they played very well.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that Caitlin, I mean, she handled it, just like she handled like a trooper. She been doing it all year to people. She been talking shit. So when it came in her face, she just shrugged it off and just kept on going. She didn't say nothing back.
She had to eat that shit. Yeah,
So I mean, she ate it like a true champ. You know what I mean? So she like, okay, you got me. You know what I mean? And just walked off. You know what I mean? And
right.
She was gracious in defeat. That's what I really look at. That's the marks of a true champion.
I think that they both gonna learn from this because they're young ladies and stuff. I think that, like I said, man, it's like the narrative, man. It could get dangerous, man. You got two good ball players, bro, to play. You got eyes. I don't watch women's basketball. In this game, I watched it front to back. Just to see these two play, and especially watch Caitlin. Because I know her name. They promote her more. So I knew about her a little bit more than I did Angel. But then, I took a peek at Angel and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, she dope too, though. So, and then of course they had the coach over there. So I was into it. I was all in. And this heats up a pretty good rivalry, I think, between the two, and maybe this can give women's basketball kind of like a shot, because if you can get a guy like myself, who I'm not necessarily watching women's basketball, to fall in line to watch this game, and it was a good game, I have to say.
Absolutely. I think that the WNBA should be paying attention to what's going on right now, and trying to figure out how can they convert the fans that are in the college game and the women's sports to the National League, because they did women's sports in college is just phenomenal. I mean, me and you just talked about that.
Right.
That a lot of men's sports right now, especially when it comes to basketball, it's pretty much one and done. So it's become watered down in basketball sports for the men, but for women, most of those women, they're going to college for 4 years straight, so we're watching them develop their skills, develop their names, getting bigger and bigger every year. I mean, it was just, phenomenal to see, them play. And like you said, next year, we're going to want to watch them games.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be must see, TV. It's going to be, it could be a Magic Johnson, Larry Bird type of deal where, in the future. They can get sponsorships. They can do commercials together.
Right.
They can make some money off of this for real.
Right,
So
right. And yeah, I would be all for that though. But I think that's how you capture interest.
right.
And I thought they did a good job with how they promoted the game, even prior to any of the controversy that came, which I don't even really consider too much a controversy. It's like, hey man, knock it off. She did what she did. Okay, whatever. If you didn't like it or you thought it was distasteful, whatever. I mean, but it's not that deep. It's not that serious though. And I think that the problem was, unfortunately, was the people who disagree with it. To me, I think that a lot of people they overreacted to her doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like people got really emotionally mad at Angel about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Keith Olbermann is one person in particular who's he's a legendary journalist. He's a progressive person. He's just he's a real smart cat, but used to be on ESPN, MSNBC, and all this kind of stuff. But he referred to her as a fucking idiot for doing what she did, or to Catlin. And Shaq stepped in and he had tweeted at him or whatever and said, "Sit your dumb ass down" or something. But it's like, why are you so mad? It's like, to react. So you can say you don't like how she did it or whatever, but why is there so much vitriol behind it? Is the part that I was kind of troubled with.
I think it's just to push that narrative, that racial narrative, to make it even stronger, and it builds legs. When they do that, so when they do that, it just makes it to be able to talk about it, for weeks on end.
Right. I mean, but check this out though. So Reese was in foul trouble in the game. She still had a double-double. She had like 24 and 12 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, she's a star.
What I'm saying is though, bro, but ain't nobody talking about that.
She's a star.
Catlin dropped 30 on their heads and lost. You know what I mean? Like, and this is what we talking about. Like,
I mean, you gotta have some kind of controversy in order to make something happen, and it just so happens that Angel, she made a controversy at the end. So now, like I said, I think for this, there's no such thing as bad press in this. They both gonna build their brand off of this.
Yeah.
And it's only the sky's the limit for these two young ladies, right now anyway. So
it's gonna be crazy how these teams turn out next season, because really now I'm hoping that they both get back somewhere down the line and meet again in the tournament or something, and be able to have round two, to see it. That's going to even be bigger than this past game.
I mean, if they do it like the NBA, hopefully at the beginning of the season, those two teams meet at the start of the season.
Right.
They're gonna make it on CBS. They're gonna be playing, so this is gonna put the spotlight on women's basketball,
so that we don't have to wait until the NCAA tournament to watch them get down again.
Absolutely. They're gonna figure it out, but this is profitable for everybody that's involved in this. I think that them making it a racial thing and all that stuff, I don't think that any one of those players really care about any of that kind of stuff. They really care about winning.
But people that's watching do.
Yeah.
And that's how it's gonna draw out,
Yeah, I mean, but that makes it better for them, in the long run, when it comes to the popularity of the sport and people wanting to watch and the views and those schools getting, sponsorships and things like that, and then other schools get looked at as well. So, I mean, it takes something like that to shed light on how good the sport really is in women's basketball.
Right.
And this was it.
Yeah, this was. I'm mad that I missed the Iowa game against South Carolina. That's the game that I actually wanted to watch as well. Dawn Seeley is her name. She's playing the WNBA and stuff. And she's somewhat controversial, but a hell of a coach. And they were in like a 41 game win streak before they lost to Iowa.
Yeah.
So, You know, she's definitely she's accomplished, and I think she's won a title out there as well. You know, but I wanted to watch them play. That's the game that I wanted to watch, but I didn't get a chance to. I think, I was hanging out with you, and or was that Friday they played?
They played on Friday.
Yeah, no, I missed on Friday. We was doing the show, I think, or whatever it was. I forgot about it though. But that's the game I wanted to watch though, actually.
Yeah, but women's. I mean, college basketball right now is most definitely better than the men's. Most definitely, absolutely. I mean, I just don't. You know, these one and done. You know, players. It's just not competitive no more.
Right.
These young players aren't getting a chance to really develop their skills.
Right.
Things like that. We're not being able to watch them grow. So it's, blue chips are just going to, certain big colleges, and that's pretty much it. I think this year is kind of surprising with the two teams that are left, to play the championship. I don't think no one expected these two teams, to be here right now. I think that's always great and special, but I think ultimately we just watched women's basketball, super succeed, men's college basketball this year.
Right. Yeah, I think I only watched like a couple of games. Yeah, it's Miami and Connecticut. Or no, that's that's a couple. No, that's San Diego and UConn. Oh, that's who's playing. San Diego State and UConn, Miami the most. Yeah, I don't really know nobody in that college. In the college, I don't even watch college basketball. Like I said, I watched one game or two games. I watched Oregon State though when they made their run a couple years ago. Though,
right?
That was that last year or year before last?
Year before last.
Yeah, when they made that little run, I watched the tournament from, I think it was the Elite Eight is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I watched from that point. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, they're making noise. Straight up. But yeah, anyway, when it comes to the Catlin, Clark, and Angel Reese situation, I think it's just a situation that's being blown out of proportion. Should she had done what she done? Maybe not. But at the end of the day, nobody got hurt. And it's not that big a deal, y'all.
Just feelings, it's just, the crowd's feelings, basically,
Yeah,
everybody that didn't play the game was hurt.
Yeah, right. Like, just let it go. They do this on the court all the time when they out just playing with their friends or playing against people, and it'd be worse shit being said than that. They got thick skin.
Absolutely. Those women play with men, and I mean, they're phenomenal players, man. So, when you at that high level, they demanding, and they pushing everyone's buttons out there, so it's psychological warfare out there when you trying to compete, so, and those women are no different, so they competing at a high level. So that's what you're going to get out of that,
Right. Yeah, no, this is good. I mean, it has a silver lining, like we said. It builds the sport up, and it builds the anticipation up to see them again next season. I believe they'll both be returning to their schools.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wrong, I'll figure it out later. But if they are, that's just going to be huge. Both those games, if they even have two games, I'm not sure where they land on the schedule, because I'm sure they're in different divisions. But
they can figure it out. They'll figure it out. I mean, you want
a preseason tournament out like in Hawaii or something. Yeah,
you're gonna figure it out. I mean, from a financial standpoint, and just for the sport in general.
Mm-hmm.
If the WNBA, I mean, we talked about this. If they played their games in a college stadium versus an NBA stadium, and made it to where it's more compact, to where you can get the crowd involved. The crowd is a lot younger. I think that would boost the sales of the WNBA.
You created an atmosphere, a more of an intimate atmosphere with the fans and the players. Like, never mind the whole big stadium idea, but like I know what you mean, like that college size.
Right.
you know, 10,000, 10, 15,000, depending on how big your market is,
Hmm.
and if you can get, if you know your team is good enough, or you have the people that's going to support to fill them. But I think that would be cool.
I mean, you already have almost a built-in crowd at the colleges,
Mhm.
so a lot of the college students are going to want to come and check it out, and a lot of the players are going to want to come and support it as well. I just think that it's a better look for the WNBA to play in that type of atmosphere. I mean, you can bring a lot of excitement, to the game, and also boost the revenue as well.
Right, because it seems like you're trying to mimic a product that's already been done in
Well,
NBA. You have that and the style of play and all that kind of stuff, though. Women's basketball is a different game, more fundamentally sound
right.
or whatever, but they don't have to necessarily use that model. Like I get what you're talking about. You change the model and how, just the whole, like, how it looks, and talking about
Absolutely.
nothing crazy or anything, but just it don't need to be the NBA woman style. You know what I mean? Let them have their own shit. You know what I mean? It could still be the WNBA if you want it to be, but it needs to be a different product reimagined, I think, to help it blow or grow up.
Absolutely. I mean, they're representing their state, which
Hmm.
would help the college out as well. I just think just all around the board, when it comes to the crowd participation, the fans, but the fans come in, to come in to support. I just think that it will be a whole lot better if they did it in a small stadium versus,
Right.
I think they would have to figure out naturally because they have the WNBA, so the logos and things like that go on the court. They would kind of have to
Uh,
figure that. They would have to figure that stuff out. But
well, see, listen, don't isn't the WNBA like kind of off season? So, in those areas, like they don't
mhm,
play like during the the college basketball season. I don't think they might play a portion, but
right,
not the entire season. You know what I mean? I want to say, when did they start? They don't
man,
start
I couldn't
these.
even tell you.
Let's see, there it
That's
is. No,
that's the
no, no,
problem.
no.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Here
that's
we
the
are
problem.
talking about women's basketball, and you don't even know when the damn season start.
That's the problem. So the
We're gonna fix
WNBA
that
has to
though.
change that. Has to change that because uh, men are the ones that are really watching these sports, and I guarantee you, I don't know what the numbers are, but I would love to see what the numbers are from this game that just was played. You know, I
From
bet
the
you,
last game.
yes, from Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese when they played. I would love to see the numbers of that game.
Also, the WNBA season starts May 19th and concludes September 10th. So in between and right after that, you still got time before basketball starts.
Right. So
You
basically,
know,
summertime, basically throughout the summer.
hmm so that wouldn't be no issue with changing
Not at
logos and
all.
stuff like that.
Not at
Yeah,
all. I
it's
think
just a
that would
couple of
be.
tarps with some team name logos on there. Boom, get the court, have
Mhm.
a accordion, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, they start on the 19th. So let's see here. So we got WNBA. Remember, we used to have a WNBA team.
Yeah, I think them tickets wasn't nothing. You can probably get front row for $200.
It was the Portland Fire. You remember
Yeah,
them?
yeah, I remember them.
Yeah. So they have. So you have the teams. What they have? One, two, three, four, five, 6 teams. Hold on, let me see why cities are so this the Houston Comets. I did used to like them when they first started. Though I did used to watch them. Like, going why they
I
had
mean,
Cheryl Swoops and them
women's.
on there.
I mean, college basketball for women has always been great. I mean, back in the Lisa Leslie days,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Diana Taurasi days, like, I mean, those were players that I watched in college.
Right,
So
right.
I've always watched. I've always liked, women's basketball. It's just when they get to the WNBA, is the way that product is not good.
Yeah, it started. They got 12 teams in the WNBA. They're divided equally between the Eastern and Western Conference, so 6 teams in each division. In the Eastern Conference, you got the Atlanta Dream, the Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun. So there is a team in Connecticut, like we was talking about.
Okay.
Indiana Fever, New York Liberty, and the Washington Mystics. And then the Western Conference, you got the Dallas Wings, the Las Vegas Aces, the Los Angeles Sparks, the Minnesota Lynx, Phoenix Mercury, and the Seattle Storm.
I mean, they got to figure out a way to make it profitable. It's never been profitable. You know what I mean? So
but it talks about the arenas too. So he said smaller arenas, right? So
right.
So at the WNBA arena list, so Alaskan Airlines Arena in Seattle, the Seattle Storm is 10,000 seat arena. Angel of the Winds Arena, Seattle Storm, that's another one of them. That's 8,500. With the Barclays, of course, that's 17, and Liberty play there. That's 17,000. But that's that's New York, and then you got to think the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
You have Entertainment and Sports Arena. The Washington Mystic is 4,200 seats in that. So they already kind of own that wave. It looks like here, like Gateway Center in Atlanta is 3,500 seat stadium. So that's kind of like a high school gym.
So you have to. My thing is, you have to put it in a place.
College cities.
Well, not just that. Where there's a built-in crowd already there.
I'm saying it's gonna have to be one of those kind of cities.
Yeah, so on a college campus, because those D1 college campuses are having 80,000 students on campus. You see what I'm saying? So now you already have a certain amount of fans that you already know that are going to be already built in and kind of tapped into automatically going there anyway. And then you get your leftover crowd for the people that are outside that live somewhere else and they come in to watch it. But you want something to where the crowd is already there. It's already on campus. It's built in. It's almost like it's built in money already.
Yeah, but as far as seating and how they're from the seating, it looks like that, except for the big city teams like Los Angeles, Brooklyn, Minnesota. You got some big, because they're the NBA, the bigger stadiums, but they do have small seat capacity though. To kind of
but so like LA, for instance, you have it at UCLA, the UCLA campus. You know what I mean? Like Minnesota, you have it at the Golden Gophers. So you have it. You have it at those places because you already have 107,000 students at this location already.
Right.
So you're working off of percentages now. What percentages of the students that go there out of 100,000 people are going to want to attend these games? And you also, you can figure out ways to subsidize tickets and things of that nature, but it's just going to create a different type of atmosphere. I think, and then you're having a lot of the younger players, a lot of the pro-am leagues, the summer league teams, a lot of the high school girls and things like that. They're going to want to come in because they're going to want to go to the college just to see what the college is like. But they're also getting that WNBA experience of being able to experience that too. It's just the whole experience in itself behind it. I think that, it's one thing to just be playing in a small gym, but it's like, where is that small gym located at? You have to have a built-in. I just feel like you have to have a built-in crowd already.
It seems like Connecticut would have that.
Now, UConn, if you had it at UConn, where they play basketball at, in that, bro, it'd be sold out. Them games would be sold out, man. No question about it.
Yeah. I said something about it. Okay. Connecticut. Did they make the tournament this year?
I'm pretty sure they made it, but
like they had an off year.
Yeah, but I mean that's what they need to do in order to make that league successful. And I guarantee you they'll be selling out. It's easy. It's easier to subsidize tickets. You know, you can sell them tickets for $15, $20 to students. It's gonna sell out. It's
Right.
creating an atmosphere now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like, and that's what you really want to do is the ambiance.
To make people want to be there.
Absolutely.
You know, like, oh, this is cool. You know, nice crowd.
And then once the crowd start filling up and you build the audience, now you can start raising your tickets little by little. You know, so I mean, but you have to start somewhere. And I think that, you know, trying to get people just to come from their homes onto a college campus or go to the local coliseum or the local gym to go watch them play, I think it's been difficult. It hasn't worked. So you have to shake something up and try something different.
I think it's the big cities there is the most because there's so many things to do in bigger cities.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that this would be perfect for that. You know what I mean? This would be perfect.
You know, like, I mean, they can play at PSU. They can play it. I mean, if Portland had one, they would have to play it in Oregon or somewhere.
Right.
You know, at U of O. If they did it there, it would be so, like, you just have to be realistic about what's going on. You know, so those colleges is going to get behind it. They're going to promote it as well. You know, so you're having a whole lot of promoting going on. So I just think that it would be a good fit.
Well, hopefully they can do something with this momentum they got off of this championship game, though, because it definitely got people talking about women's basketball. So I suspect that some things should be pretty cool for them.
Most definitely.
Got somebody in the building. What's up? Glenda is in the building. Yep. But yeah, man, I made I'm starting to make my shorts now. I finally found my formula. Did you see the one that I made?
I did. I was meant to comment on that too. Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, I finally got to where it was. The way I saved it when I originally tried to put it was gonna be kind of condensed and it doesn't look right the way shorts work. And so then so what I did is I downloaded it off of my Instagram because I posted it on Instagram. And then when I went to take that downloaded version of it from my Instagram, it was perfect for the shorts, so it came out perfect.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah. I was trying to make another one. Today I was working on one. I got one. I think I'm gonna use it. It's with Ronaldo on there. It's kind of funny. So I'm keeping about a minute though, but you know, and shit. But that one did pretty good though. We had so far, the last time I checked, we had like 148 views on that joint.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, people.
Yeah, the short ones is how it is because I mean that one with Ronaldo, man, can really go viral if you do that like that.
Yeah, we're 148.
His is gonna go viral.
Oh yeah, this is definitely. He's crazy.
Yeah, his is gonna go viral, most definitely.
Yeah, no, that shit funny. Let me see here. I wonder how far. Oh, I push pause. Go all the way live. Yeah, I can pull that off the screen. But anyway, man, what else is on the radar? Let me see what else we got to talk about. It's Monday. The only thing I could think about is that this damn basketball game because people was talking about it, but I wasn't that emotionally triggered by it, so but I wanted to talk about it though because I feel like I had an opinion on it, and I think that before I heard about Catlin and what she did and all that, I already came to my conclusion, so it was more of a real response, you know.
Right.
I wasn't for it, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't mad at her like that, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, you know what I'm saying? All this other shit. Yeah, that's the crazy part. But yeah. You be watching Fresh and Fit?
Man, I used to watch a little bit of it, man. I just, I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, I
that's
see
for young
through.
people. That's
I,
young
I
people
mean, I
shit.
kind of see. I see through that shit, man. Like, I mean, they have some key points that they kind of cone in on and they kind of pound in on,
Mhm.
which is cool. But I mean, you can tell when someone has never had, you know, any kind of leverage in the dating field, and all of a sudden they get some money and how they act, towards people. You
Right.
know, so I mean, I think me and you both have been blessed in that field to kind of know, what it is and what it feels like to be appreciated by the opposite sex, for a long
All
amount
right.
of time, man. Since at least for me, since middle school and grade school and stuff like that. So, um, it's kind of it's nothing, But when you get men that they never had no kind of attention at all, and then all of a sudden, you get some money, then you get to act brand new. It's
Right.
no different than a woman that that was ugly her whole life, and she got herself together, and now she's getting all this attention that she ain't never had before. So it's the
Acting
same
different.
thing. It's the same thing, and they call themselves, well, they're this or they're that. I think real recognize real, man, and you can tell when someone is, is faking and caking, for the camera. So
Right.
I see a lot of that going on, man, when it comes to that, you know.
Man. Shit.
But yeah, what you think about them?
About who?
What you think about Fresh and Fit?
Fresh and Fit. So with them, like I said, I used to watch some of their stuff on there, but it's mostly like the shorts and the controversial the clickbait stuff.
Right.
When they arguing with a woman or a woman's having an emotional outburst, or when the woman fought Tommy on there or attacked him or whatever.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, and all that. Watch. I've seen those things, and it was cool for a minute, but it was still a lot of fuckery that only so much of that stuff I can watch. And so, but as far as them as a podcast, I think they kind of hit their stride, and now it's kind of like, it's for younger people. Maybe it's just not for my demographics or whatever though. But what they're talking about, some of the points that they make, I think, like you said, that they say a lot of good stuff, but I just think that it's kind of perverted in the way they present it. And it gets to when they have women on, they a little extra sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like when you know who you are,
Hmm.
you don't have to display it in a way to where you degrading people and doing all that kind of stuff. It's just I understand it's entertainment too, but I mean, but you can also tell like it's in their character,
Right.
So they ain't that good of actors, so it's something in their characters. Like I said, you can tell when someone just hasn't been attractive or they ain't got no attention
Yeah,
and all.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now all of a sudden, like
Yeah,
they throwing the bitches out and all that,
right.
acting all like they
But if
just
you don't
above
want to
the
listen to
law.
me, I'm the
Yeah.
one that's doing this, that, and the other. Like, and it's just like, why do you even have to go that route?
So it's the setup though, but then it's like it's a superior thing. Like so, yeah, you get chicks on here that, no offense, but they don't be really the brightest chicks and you get
Absolutely.
them on there, and then you ask them questions. And these dumb motherfuckers, they can say the stupidest shit, or they have no idea what expectations are that they want, and they'll say something that's totally out of this world. Everybody knows it's crazy except for them. And then they start bashing down on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like the setup, you know. And so
I mean, it's
that
good for
but
clickbait.
it gets old though, their whole
Right.
little yeah, it gets old. And so that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen it. I've seen one show, you've seen them all. Would you say Claire is talking about the Louisiana Iowa game? I'm Iowa all the way. I know. How you feel about your girl getting hit up on the court after the game? she repped her set. She told her the ring finger. Just and then rolled her eyes. And nigga, I was like, oh shit. I was like that. Look, she looked like a little girl. I mean, she is. She only 20 years old. So I mean, she was doing her shit, bro. Banged on her. She banged on her. I still like Catlin though, but she rolled on her. She banged on her for real though. This one cat was talking about that. Speaking of which, since we bounce back to that, he was saying that he said, I don't understand. He's like, that's not like you guard her. Y'all in different positions. Why you over there in her face? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Like we don't even play the same position. Bitch, get away from me, you big old monster, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get rebounds and bowling bitches. I'm out here quick stepping back and pulling threes, But nah, it was, anyway. They lost. It wasn't even close. And so she put her hand in her face. But she should have just sportsmanship, Claire. Yeah, definitely. She said unlikely. I think it's poor sportsmanship. Right. Yeah. Okay. Spell check. Yeah, no, absolutely. But as far as all this other shit that they talking about now, it's racial now. I mean, but I guess when you point it out, yeah, it is. Okay. Because the white girl do it, nobody says nothing. Black girl do it, here we are. We're doing a podcast on it.
Right.
And so it get clicks and views because everybody's mad at her. And so I just had to make sure that it was understood that I'm not necessarily mad at her. I thought that wasn't the right time for that. It's a time and a place for it all. But at the end, I didn't really care for that. And I didn't know nothing about Catlin doing it. So, just to make sure we're clear there. And even afterwards, it was a different thing for me. He says, sportsmanship. He says, but I also understand the sportsmanship seems to come from a different time. I mean, you have to explain more on that one. And she said it's racial because people in the comments made it racial.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, those two players, they didn't really care about none of that kind of stuff. That she was just flaunting that, that she won. She was on her big girl shit.
She did make it a route race though.
Afterwards, after the game, because I'm pretty sure the commentators and the people were asking her, well, hey, why'd you do that, and this, that, and the other. But at the time that she did it, I don't think she really, she was really thinking of it like that. I think she was more or less just saying like, hey, what I'm saying, I got your ass. And
then why not just say that?
Right.
Or did somebody, like this is what this is, and tell you, or whatever. I don't know. I just felt like that was the part where I was like, okay, so now this is where, we could say the people in the comments was saying that, but it was the people who was commenting that people seem to have the problem with this way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So if white people are to respond to this, it's because of that.
Right.
Automatically. There's no with some people it is. I'm not naive, but everybody, and that's everybody's thought process, because like I said, when I seen it, I was like, I wouldn't have did it. That's just me.
Right.
That's just me. But
just being caught up in your own moment of what you accomplished all year versus, turn that energy on somebody that just lost. But, to each his own.
Right. Clara says, I do wonder if one day Angel will look back and consider her actions differently. I think that she probably will, or she'll do. I just don't think that this is something that she should really to really hark on, to be honest with you. It happened. She did what she did. She feels how she feels. Like I said, no one was hurt. The game was over. I wish she would have just let it rock and just, and like whatever, bitch, scoreboard, that's what I would have did it if anything, but it wouldn't have been getting in her face to prove that point. That's the part where it was problematic for me. Other than that, shit. She says, She says, I understand and support Angel having the right to feel good about the win, but to be humble shows a different level of maturity. Yeah, that's what you coach usually, or we try to coach kids when we're coaching. It's like, or when we score touchdowns in football, we had certain players that would dance or whatever, but the coach would get mad. He'd be like, "Act like you've been there." you know. And if you're gonna do that shit, do it on the sideline. He was more that type of thing, but don't get in no player's face doing that. We was coached that shit. You don't do that. You know what I mean? And that's from an era where I came from. So, this new school thing, maybe it's something different. But back then it was just about, knocking your opponent on their ass and helping them back up and get ready for the next play. And may the best team, best man win. Or best woman. He says, "Oh, I agree. Angel's actions didn't ruin my day." Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a hot topic on the internet, Claire. It was like a lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people were mad. I think Twitter was probably where it was more vicious. When people on Twitter, they tend to they get vicious on Twitter. But I don't really get down on Twitter. You do Twitter?
I do not. I have not.
I have a Twitter though.
Right.
I do have a Twitter, but I don't tweet.
I heard it gets hard on there, man. So I don't see why not. You might as well, get in the ring.
Yeah, man. I know, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure it out. Get on there and they can get at somebody, adding people, Black Twitter and all that. Oh, so you prefer Twitter? Yeah, I've never really got into Twitter like that. Oh, for news. She says I don't tweet, but I use it for news. Yeah, you get more live up to the minute news, and people will tweet what they see, and it's quicker, and it's a bigger platform, I think, in terms of reaching as far as reach. She says I find a lot of less common news stories on Twitter, like the stuff you don't hear every day. Oh yeah. Yeah, but sportsmanship, yeah, that was the worst of it, and I just can't wait to see him play again. That's what I'm looking forward to. Is the rematch? How that's
gonna go down? It's gonna go down. It's gonna be highly publicized, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, believe it. I'm watching. I will be watching that motherfucker. Best believe I will be watching that shit.
But that's how you get men to watch them sports. That's what you do.
Right. Because nigga, I definitely want to see how that's gonna play out when we draw. But like I said, for what I understand, that and what make it worse for me when it comes to the whole hand thing, right? When it comes to Angel doing that, what I learned after the fact is that she transferred from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And she had already played against Catlin 3 previous times and beat her all those times, and then you beat her in national championship. So, you got her number. You know what I mean? She gets her money, but she ain't beat you. You know what I'm saying? You beat her. I mean, if I'm correct on what I heard or whatever and read. And so it's just one of those kind of things, though. Like, you're doing too much.
She feel like probably that Catlin is getting too much pub. And she deserves just as much pub as as she been getting. So
she got it now.
Yeah.
she got it now.
Said,
okay, so check this shit out though. So the president of the United States of America, Mr. Joe Biden, you know how when the championship team goes to the White House,
right?
He invited the Iowa team too. He invited them both to the White House. What do you think about that?
Well, you already know how I feel about the president of this United States. So
never mind that.
I feel
You
like
know how
he's.
to, go
I
ahead.
feel like he's a ham sandwich. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
he's a ham sandwich. I mean, do what everybody else do. Winners get the trophy, not losers.
Right.
This ain't a participation award. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, this is an honor to be. It's supposed to be an honor to be able to go,
And
to the
visit the
White House,
president. Yeah.
right? But that I think they just made it to where I don't know what his motive was behind that, but yeah, I think that whole administration just needs to get thrown in the garbage.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, but I totally agree though. I heard this and I hope that it ain't true. I mean, and if I was on Iowa, I wouldn't go. If I was a player on Iowa, no, I'm not going to the White House. I don't want to meet the president under these circumstances. This is reserved for the winner. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to win. I want to be a champion
Right.
one day, and then everything that comes with being a champion, I want that too. But I don't want to experience on the opposite end of that, being the second place person. Nobody remembers second place, bro. Or they're going to remember
Absolutely.
you. Oh, you're the first second place team to get invited to the White House, and inviting them at the same time. We're
So I
both
mean,
going to be there.
so I mean, this might be starting something for here on out. We might just see, winners and losers. Everybody get to go.
Everybody get
You
to
know,
go. Claire, since when do we start doing that? Right, Claire? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. She says that's a slap in the face of LSU, and that is questionable, very much so. And he's running the country. And also, she says going to the White House is out of pity. Well, I mean, nobody wants that. Those players from Iowa don't want that. What
I
you
mean,
giving me?
they coach is gonna tell them to go. And they're gonna get pressured to go. Because it's gonna, probably
Listen.
look good for the school and
If I'm
all
the
those other
coach,
things.
no. If I'm the coach, I'll be like, no. Okay, my players can go, but I'm not going. Fuck that. This is not. We cannot breed a culture of participation trophies.
It's
Just
already
because
here. It's already here, man.
it
It's
ain't in
already
it.
here.
I mean, at the highest. I mean, right, but in the NBA or NFL, that ain't no.
I mean, it's already here, man. I think grown men is gonna be like, nah. But them colleges, there's more influence, when it comes to school and alumni, and you got all these pulling forces that go into that. So I think when it comes to that, I think they gonna go. You gonna see them there, shaking hands with well, if he even gonna be there, But
That's terrible. That's terrible, bro. That's terrible. That's mediocrity.
I mean, that's what we breed anyway.
Straight mediocrity.
That's what we
Not to
breed.
win. And we talk about competition, and we talk about we talked about a whole 30 minutes about how, I mean, our ideas on how to elevate women's pro basketball. But then the president wants to do something like this. That's not only a slap in the face to LSU, that's a slap in the face to women's sports.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
They are competitors. These women work hard every single day to get to a certain point or a certain level. And, they understand this game just like any man does. But you're going to do this. What is the reason behind this, though? And those women that work hard every day, they don't want no goddamn free handouts. They want to be able, just like I said, they want to be able to experience this shit as winners, nigga, not as a charity or a pity move.
I agree.
I
mean, I most definitely wouldn't want to go and sit next to the team that just won.
Oh no, especially after the bitch just did all that motherfucking
Big, I'm gonna see you next year on the court. That's the only time I want to see you. I don't want to see you nowhere else.
I'm not going there. No, I'm not. But they probably gonna both show up and go hug at the White House. They're gonna probably try to make it this big old thing. They pandering right now. Anyway, she said I was going to say so both teams get that Super Bowl ring. Right? No, one team get a Super Bowl ring, but they get to go see the president.
Absolutely, that's what's going on.
Goddamn field trip. This is some punk ass shit. It says everyone gets a gold medal at the Olympics. Everyone is not silent. Simone Biles are just saying, yeah, that's right. But you're gonna get a medal. They're gonna outside of bronze, it's gonna be just a regular medal to show that you participate, not just the paper that you put in the frame and you like, yeah, I was at the Olympics, but I didn't medal. So what this paper shows, I was there. You know what I mean? There goes a picture or whatever. Participation trophies. I remember when they started doing that shit when I was younger, though. There were certain organizations and they had them, and if you got one of them trophies, if you didn't get like MVP, Mr. Defense, or Most Improved, if you didn't get none of them trophies, nigga, you know what I'm saying? And y'all didn't win a champion. If you won a championship, everybody got a trophy. You know what I mean? But if you didn't win a championship, if you get one of them trophies, if you didn't get one of those,
you don't even want them. You didn't even want them. You be like, man, give me this. What is people be clowning you and everything else? Like,
you're right. This? Yeah, why you got the little trophy, the little punk ass. Well, I can't say that. Yeah, but the little trophy. And the other kids, get the big trophies. But you got this little trophy, and your friends is clowning you. You didn't respect that trophy. You was trying to get the big trophy.
Man, you was like, I don't even want that damn thing. You can keep that trophy.
That little bitty ass shit. I still got them joints too. I got one of them. Here, I got a couple of them, bro. From the 80s, bro. For real. That's funny fuck though. But yeah, I don't want nobody to just, okay, yeah, well, right, you came in last place, but you still gonna it's like you're gonna still get some money.
Right.
You even said that ain't how life work, bro. If you ain't placing, if you ain't finishing strong, bro.
I mean, it's the way that we run the country right now. I mean, you can be homeless, man, and you're gonna get an apartment. Are we gonna give you $1,000 a month? I mean, it's the way that's
participation trophy. There you go.
That's the way that we run in the country right now. That's what it is, and that's why. America, when it comes to education and when it comes to, jobs and things like that, we dead last in everything because of that.
Man, time for the Renaissance, man. Something got to change.
Man, ain't nothing to change, man, because we keep voting these same people in office and they want the same thing. They got the same agenda and the rest of the world ain't with it.
Nah, they about tired of us, man.
They competing, and they kicking our ass right now, in every aspect.
Shit.
They talking about not using the American dollar no more, having their own currency, and
China and Brazil just signed some kind of trade deal together.
Yeah, China, Brazil, Russia, Africa. It's like 7, 8 countries, bro. They for real about this. They like, I'm not fucking with y'all. Like we finna have our own shit or whatever and do our own thing. Y'all's dollar is basically nothing right now. Y'all just printing money, which is causing inflation to go up. They're not with it, man.
Yeah, like you guys worried about the wrong thing. Like they is talking about sanctioning one of the African countries over there because they have some anti-gay bill.
There's nothing to listen, man. They're not listening to none of that.
Right, but I said before, if we still get oil from Saudi Arabia, how do they treat them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't just what you gonna start banning them and because they don't follow your policies or whatever. Well, the American dollar has no value anymore. Damn.
Absolutely. It's sad to say, but it looks like it's the beginning of the end of a long run.
Of a long run. Well, they've been saying for years that this is where we was headed. Headed to socialism, the highest form of socialism. Herd motherfuckers around now. Ooh-wee. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. She says, and that convention of the Americas showed it problematic when countries were like, nope, we aren't coming because Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba aren't invited. Yeah. So all of the countries didn't show up because Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba aren't invited. They're like, nah, and they need all hands on deck.
Well, see, once they got the thing of it is once China and Russia are superpowers, and once you have them involved, and then you have Africa and all these other countries are building a coalition. It weakens American strength when it comes to being a bully and trying to muscle stuff or whatever. Like, no, you ain't just finna come over here and do whatever, or you ain't finna just, you know what I mean? Like, our allies will cut you off with this. Don't you owe China? Like, China pretty much owns America. So there's a lot of there's a lot of things that go into that, and they put themselves in a bad predicament, man. All that bullying and threatening people, that stuff is all out the window. They don't believe you.
Well, one thing we do, and we leave the world in, and that's arms. So shit, as long as that's happening, these motherfuckers is gonna hold the line, bro.
I just think that China being doing us dirty with tariffs and all that stuff, and it's not going to do nothing but
administration, though.
Right, but it's not going to do nothing but get worse, though. I mean, because we're having the same type of people that are in the White House that are not willing to change or fight back, and then you get to a point to where you have all these other countries are becoming allies now.
It's the whole Taiwan issue, though.
Yep.
That's one of the things. But the thing is that it's not good for business for anybody for any of that to happen. All this stuff is like a Cold War, proxy war, Russia and America, they arming Ukrainians and all that kind of shit. But that they won't cross. There's lines that they won't cross. They're like poking the bear, literally and physically, figuratively, when you think about what their whole thing is about bears. But no, seriously, they don't want nothing like that to pop off, bro. Because as soon as it do, bro, you thought the pandemic was something. Shit, it's gonna really get real around here, bro.
So what happened if China cut us off in a lot of stuff? What you think gonna happen?
Yeah, I used to
they stop funding. They stop funding everything that we got going on over here.
Like the mineral or the minerals that they have to pull to put into these cell phones.
That stuff is coming from Africa.
Yeah, but they make this shit in China.
Right.
We don't, for these phones and electronics that we don't have over here, they mine and they do that. We don't do that. It's just like with oil and shit like that.
Yeah.
We don't process or refine as well as those countries do over there. So we buy it. It's cheaper. It says, and the thing is, China, Russia, and India understand we are willing to embrace the concept of geopolitical world where there is more than one superpower. So everybody's fighting to get their seat at the table, like the mob, the five families. Yeah,
your days of just running and just doing what you want to do, nah, we ain't with that no more.
Yeah, but like I said, man, it's it's bad for business to be at war, though.
I mean, it absolutely is, but I mean, people understand if you want change, sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. So, and I think there's other countries that are willing to say, okay, well, if this is what it is, this is what it is, but we're not going for this no more. You guys been running the table for too long.
He says, but wait, we send our businesses over there to build to be built in China, but the goods don't come from China. We are all intertwined in ways that are detrimental. Yeah. Saying that's what I'm saying. It's bad for business for we ain't finna. I don't think we're gonna do nothing that's too stupid to put ourselves in. I mean, I don't know, nigga. Anything can happen. Shit. Let me.
The thing of it is that you don't have no leverage, and that's the problem when you have weak people in position of power. you know, you give away your leverage to other people, and then once you do that, and they realize that, and they're not afraid no more, then it's like when the bully gets beat up, man. Nobody's afraid of the bully no more.
Right. So Clara says, she says, but we are not prepared for the ramifications of China cutting us off. We could take back our businesses, and that would give people her jobs, but you have to train people on how to make the goods.
Bro, from STEM to engineering to all that stuff, bro, all them people are coming from somewhere else, bro. They're not coming from here.
And we would still have to be able to purchase the goods to produce it. And China has 1 billion people. So there is the breakdown. They got enough people to be fighting the war, and still got you still got
we're importing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is being imported from somewhere else.
We don't make nothing no more.
Exactly. So that's the problem.
All the manufacturing off. Mm-hmm.
We ain't sending y'all nothing, or we gonna triple tax y'all. If y'all want it, y'all gonna really pay for this, and y'all already in debt as it is.
Yep. Oh wait. It's gonna be interesting because when is it gonna happen? That's what I'm just saying. When is the bottom gonna fall out?
Oh, it's falling out now. From the socialism part of it to the tariffs, to how our dollar is deflating.
Right.
It's happening little by little, and everybody is watching and paying attention. So and once you start traveling out of the country and you start to listen and see how people really feel about America, man, it's not too good.
Right. Well, this is something that's been saying for a lot of years. I'm just interested to see how this is going to play out, how it's going to go down. What is it going to, is it going to be pandemic-ish?
Man, start investing your money. Start going to other places.
That's
man.
what it is. Yeah, so other places, it's really going to not be safe. It's going to be different, man. Listen, if a whole new regime like a China or something, they're going to start walking into places. If America ain't stable, bro, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying?
We not
think about it. Well, then what I'm saying is those places that you think is going to be cool is going to get exploited. You know what I'm saying?
China already owns pretty much Africa.
What I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
They different, bro. Everything is different. That's why we over here, because of how we do shit over here, the things that we have and we're capable or able to do. A lot of times you got to be of a certain class to do those things over in them places. Right. And the way they control people, lifestyle, like certain attitudes you have in America, you can't go over other places and do that. But my point is, though, is what I'm saying is that this country is, if the stability is lost, it's totally, for instance, so we have nothing to offer to this whole world, global whatever. Anywhere you go in this world, the next dictatorship, what is that going to be? You know what I'm saying? With China, you know what I'm saying? And what the law is going to be like? You think that you're going to be afforded these same things, or that life or the world is going to be like it is, or anything close to this? Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
It's going to absolutely be different.
Because we're talking world war, so it's like you ain't nowhere to run or hide, really. You know what I'm saying? For real. Look at it, man. For real. But if this shit get like that, bro, it's going to be all bad. This is, what she say? We've grown up with socialism, preschools, Medicaid, Medicare. Yeah, but this ain't Stalin. We had it that way is what I'm talking about. I'm talking like how, Russia or, or North Korea, I'm not going to say that's yeah. Yeah. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about that type of socialism. Every superpower's days come and go. Yeah, we've been pretty good because our country's lasted a long time. I will say that. Well, it's going to be a different world, though. What is that going to look like, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. I do not know. But I'm at the halfway point, so I ain't no telling what it's going to be like, but I'm going to get mines in and then dip on out this place and let y'all deal with it. So anyway. But what time we got on the set? Oh, it's 9:15. It's bedtime. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us on the the halfway point. Thank you guys for joining the PDXDOPE Live podcast on a Monday pop up. Shout out to our man Jermaine Mason for joining me. We're gonna go ahead and close this thing out. And we're going to catch you on Wednesday's show. Be on the lookout. Hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell so you'll know when the next shows will be coming up and you won't miss these pop-ups. And if you don't catch this live, catch us on a replay. Leave a comment. Yeah, no. Let me take that. It says, and then we are.
I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. Got something to dance to for players and squares. Drugs and booze we share. The smell of weed, smoke, and sex in the air. Come and play with me if you dare. It's hotter than Hell's Kitchen, women everywhere. We living it up until the clock stop. Rockin' hip hop, we go hard to the last shot. Or my body drop, plant it in the box. I do.